It's great to be here today. Obviously, we're going to be talking about how Aetrex has transformed their post-purchase experience using AfterShip. I am Laura McQuinn. I work on the return side of AfterShip. AfterShip is really more of a post-purchase suite of offerings that we have. We do everything with merchants who are on kind of any e-commerce platform, from tracking to returns to warranties, and create a really beautifully branded experience. I couldn't be more excited to be here, though, with Rui Kochima, who is the Senior Director of E-commerce at Aetrex. Aetrex has really done incredible stuff in the footwear industry, leaning into science and technology. Oh, thank you. Science and technology to create 3D scanning experiences for their customers at 12,000 locations worldwide. Rui has been at Aetrex for 7 years, so he's a wealth of knowledge for the company. He also governs both the online and offline digital experiences for the company, so it's great to balance both of those things and be able to bring that intel here for us today. Thank you so much for being here.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
For sure. Okay, guys. We're gonna kind of, oh, sorry, forgot to show you our faces, but we are here. Okay, can you share a little bit about how Aetrex has grown throughout the years? I know you have an incredibly engaged community that you guys are working with, and things have really changed since before to during to after the pandemic. So can you share a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, so we've been successively achieving double-digit growth year over year on Aetrex.com for the past 7 years, and we've definitely seen a growth in our business post-pandemic, and it didn't come without its own set of challenges that we saw. So we saw an increase in competition, saturation in the digital ad space, increase in CPA, and changes around data privacy. And essentially, we've had to really adapt to this new environment. And first things first, we had to tackle all the issues one by one. And so we found ourselves really focusing more on prospecting and nurturing that customer funnel. And we changed the way that we ran ads. We provided more content about why consumers should consider Aetrex and what differentiates us from the vast amount of competitors in the space. And we've been incorporating a lot of videos over these past couple years to really cut through that saturation and really stand out from this really overcrowded space. We've also been focusing on the collection of first-party data to really address the issues around data privacy. And we've been using and incorporating a lot of software to help us identify and retarget customers that are visiting onto our site. And we believe that being able to collect this data today positions us for success in the future as data regulations continue to become more strict in the future. And lastly, retention. And we've been focusing on retention as CPA continues to increase for our business. And we know that it's cheaper to convert an existing customer than it is to convert a newer customer. And our customers are very vocal. And they've made it very clear that they love our products, but not so much on the digital experience side. And so AfterShip has been a very instrumental business partner for us to really improve that side of the business.
Yeah, I will tell you, guys, I'm actually wearing Aetrex shoes right now. They're very comfortable in case you get the chance to get some. Yeah. But I know what's going on with how they're retargeting people at Aetrex, and it worked on me. I bought some shoes. I then got the tracking emails that were coming from Aetrex, and I knew they were retargeting me, but I loved the shoes, and I bought another pair. So it really does work. All right. Okay, I mentioned the 3D scanning technology. That's super important to Aetrex business. I also was able to do it myself, and it's very cool. Given this really important offline touch point, can you tell us a little bit about how you've translated that online?
Yeah, so a little bit more about who we are as a business. So if you visit Aetrex.com today, we primarily sell 2 different products, footwear and orthotics. And we're selling them direct to the consumers, but a large part of our actual business is driven by the technology that we create. So as Laura mentioned, we create 3D foot scanners, and they're distributed across the globe to help customers find better fitting footwear. And so if you go into a shoe store today and you don't know your shoe size, you're most likely measured across 2 points of measurement on your foot, your length and maybe sometimes your width, as if your foot's 2D. But in reality, there's other points like arch height, instep height, and all these other different points of measurement that make your foot 3D. So our scanners paired with our AI platform, we're able to use the 16 points of data that's being captured through our scanners to properly fit customers in the right fitting footwear that's available at that physical location. And so essentially, we're trying to really challenge the traditional methods of shoe fitting and kind of redefining the way that customers see fit. So, aside from that physical touch point, there's that online touch point, and Aetrex and our partners actually leverage the first-party data collected through our scanners to run personalized email journeys. So that can be email journeys just communicating about the importance of proper winning footwear, to personalized product recommendations, to us even being able to identify potential foot conditions this consumer may be experiencing and creating content and product recommendations off of that as well. And so we're always trying to figure out what can we do to get the most out of the data that we're collecting today. And a lot of it is actually driven for us personally is emails and SMS. And we're trying to figure out, okay, well, what can we do to get the most amount of emails and SMS, whether it be through our 3D foot scanners or even through our prospecting ads? Because by being able to collect that data, we can create retargeting audiences. We're also being able to create lookalike audiences. We're able to actually even reach out to them on demand through your SMS and email as well. But what's been great is we even been able to figure out how to stay connected to these customers, even if they unsubscribe. What we do is we identify high value contacts and we send direct mailers over to them. So essentially postcards saying, hey, you know what? Here's some new product releases, here's some big promotions, and we're seeing some great ROI through this offline touch point. And so that's just another way of how we stay connected as a brand through this offline touch point.
Yeah, I actually think it's a great point. Do everything that you can in terms of modern technology to move things forward, but don't forget what was working before. Mail has worked, and it obviously is working for you guys, so really great point. Okay. Post-purchase has evolved, obviously, a ton over the years. We're really not only focusing on email anymore, we've kind of grown beyond that. Can you tell us a little bit about how Aetrex has incorporated innovative strategies with your customers as you kind of move forward?
Yeah, so we believe that staying connected to customers goes just beyond promotional emails and ads. It's the content that users engage with your website, the interactions they have with your customer service team, and even the interactions with the vast array of software that you might be incorporating in your business today. And as our business grew, we found ourselves relying on software and automation to stay connected to our customers. And so at the moment, we leverage Klaviyo, our ESP, for all of our outbound communication. So that can be transactional emails, that can be promotional emails, personalized email journeys triggered through our 3D foot scanners, and we actually even have AfterShip integrated to Klaviyo as well to send tracking numbers to our customers after an order's been fulfilled. And I just wanted to highlight some really cool stuff around that because we're seeing 60% open rates on these emails, 35% click-through rate, and you guys have actually contributed to a reduction of 74% of Wizmo tickets for us as a business. So that's been really cool for us. But what's really changed the business is really AfterShip returns. And we had an equivalent of 3 full-time employees dedicated on returns. And these are people manually processing returns, and it took about 30 days until a customer saw a refund reflected on their account. We knew that was a bad experience. Our customers that are very vocal made it very clear that that's not acceptable, and the issue only magnified post-pandemic when our sales were rising and we had shortage on staff. And our customers, our very loyal customers, were very clear on social media, telling us, hey, you know what, you guys need to improve this, otherwise we're gonna start shopping around other brands. And I was like, this is bad, we need to fix this. And we've figured out how to do it with AfterShip. And since we've gone live with AfterShip, because we're now able to trigger the refund when the customer drops off their return, customers are actually now seeing a refund reflected in account in as little as 3 business days. So AfterShip is a perfect example of how you can use automation to stay connected to your customers while still providing a great customer experience.
Okay, I work on the return side of things, as I mentioned, so I love that we get to dive in here and kind of share more of what you're doing. First of all, 30 days for a full refund to to 3 days. That's huge.
It's huge, yeah.
That's super huge. Okay, can you dive in a little bit more? Aetrex is on Salesforce Commerce Cloud. I mentioned that we work across platforms, e-commerce platforms, but you are specifically on Salesforce Commerce Cloud.
That's right.
Can you speak to anyone who is on Salesforce and how that's working with AfterShip returns?
Yeah, so we re-platformed to Salesforce Commerce Cloud back in 2019. We love the platform, but it takes generally about several weeks to 2 months until we can go live with a cartridge. For any Shopify users out there, that's an app, essentially. But yeah, so we anticipated something as complex as returns to take about 3 months until we would go live. But you guys actually created a cartridge-free solution where you're just able to copy and paste code. And I could see a lot of brands maybe be up and running by the end of the day. And so that's been very cool. But we've also managed to integrate happy returns into our business as well through AfterShip. And now our customers have the flexibility to drop off their returns in locations such as UPS, Petco, and Staples to start their return journey. And we weren't anticipating to see the results that we're seeing today. About 45% of our customers right now prefer to drop off their returns than mailing them in. And so we didn't anticipate this. Customers never even communicated to us that they wanted such a solution. We're just happy to offer multiple paths of entry for our customers to start their return journey. And lastly, the coolest thing ever, which we're very excited to go live with very, very soon, is the exchange functionality that you guys have been working on. And exchanges will allow us to really protect our revenue as a business, meanwhile being able to process and exchange orders and get them fulfilled faster for our customers. So it's a win for us, it's a win for the consumers, and we're very excited to go live with this new functionality.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for bringing up our engineering team. I always say our engineering team is unmatched, and they've done some awesome stuff in the industry for us to be able to provide to you. But you guys have gone from full refunds to bringing on exchanges, and I know you're doing a phased approach. So you're bringing on exchanges next, but the next level that Aetrex is actually bringing on is super cool. We have this exchange for anything functionality. So instead of just doing a full refund or exchange, your customers will have the option to choose a full refund and then have the option to shop your store almost as if they walk through a brick and mortar experience to buy anything else. And it also allows you to create a new revenue stream for your company. So love that you guys are doing that. There's so much more to come for you. Yeah, I'm very excited. A lot of merchants that I speak to talk about how they have a goal to simplify their tech stack. It's something I happen to know you have done. So sorry guys, this was meant to share with you what it looks like for you to be on our system, a very simple login, but I missed it. So let's highlight it here.
And while we're still on this slide too, I just want to highlight, like, all you need is your email address and your order number to like exchange your order or to even have your customers start a return. So it's just 2 data points that's necessary. And AfterShip just pulls all that data somehow. I don't know how, and it works magically. So just something that I really wanted to highlight.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, can you share, going back to the tech stack, can you share a little bit about how you guys have done that? Because I know it's been a focus of yours, and I think there's some value to make sure that the rest of the audience hears.
Right, so the consolidation of our tech stack was a project that we maybe took on about 2 years ago. We, as a department and as a business, we wanted to focus more on growth, profitability, and efficiency. And I know headless commerce is something that's gaining a lot of traction right now, but we prefer at the moment to just opt out of it and really spend less time and money kind of creating this complex tech stack and really shift our focus more on on-site optimization and content. And so through this whole project, we've managed to actually get our software fees down to 1.5% of our online gross revenue. And we've actually managed to get development maintenance down to 1.2% of our online gross revenue. And we were able to do so because we're able to leverage the out-of-box integrations that our third-party softwares have with each other. And so since we're on stage talking about AfterShip, AfterShip integrates to Salesforce Commerce Cloud, Klaviyo, Yappo, and Zendesk, and a whole suite of our whole tech stack. And that data is bidirectionally synced across every single software. So it's made our lives for our marketing team, our customer service team much easier because they're able to pull the data that they need available in any software they're in. And they can use those points to create triggers and solve cases. And so that's been something that's been really game-changing for us.
It's also a huge focus for us. Partnerships is something that we've heavily invested in at AfterShip. So I'd love it if you guys stop by the booth. We're at booth 803, which we're going to have on the screen later. Let us know what integrations you are interested in seeing or anywhere you think that we should be investing our time. Rui also mentioned a bi-directional integration. Let us know if you think it should be bi-directional or one way, what's going to be the most valuable for you guys. We would love to hear from you. Sarah from our partnership team is here, so she will love to hear from you. Okay, last question. Brands are often struggling with the balance between the cost that goes into these different options and that great customer experience that comes out of it. Can you share a little bit of your insight on how you've gained that competitive edge and where you think the value lies?
Yeah, so some purchase strategies that we've incorporated is some of your typical stuff. Your reviews, right? But we're seeing that reviews with UGC tend to garner a lot more engagement and conversion for us. And what we found is we don't necessarily need to offer an incentive to get these customers to go through this extra process of taking a picture or a video of them recording. They just need to know that, or they just needed to know that, that they have the capability to do so. If the customer loves the product, loves your brand, they want to share it with the world. And we just had to communicate, hey, do you want to leave a video to share your experience? And it's been great for us, and we're seeing high levels of engagement through that. Another thing that we've done is your common loyalty program, and we went live with this during COVID, and it helped us address a lot of issues addressed with the heightened amount of competition over the years, and also it allows us to collect a lot of first-party data. And lastly, something that I just want to share too is being able to identify operational inefficiencies in your department to drive profitability. So a great example of this is since we've ever gone live with AfterShip, you guys have literally gave us 50% in operational savings because, that were associated to returns, and all because it's all automated. And so that's a lot of time and money that we can spend in other areas of the business. And it's been a huge game changer for us. And also something that's been really cool too that helps us really drive profitability is your backend analytics tool. And so we use your analytics tool to be able to identify shoes with high return rates so that we can flush them out through different other channels. And because the last thing we want to do is continue selling these shoes with high return rates and having to restock, reprocess, only for them to come back again and kind of restart this whole cycle. So, these are some lower hanging fruits that we've done over the years to kind of see the growth they were seeing today.
Yeah, wait until you see what's coming next for analytics. Yeah. It's so exciting. Okay, I did want to highlight some of the things that Rui was talking about and that Aetrex has seen by leveraging our system, and feel free to take any screenshots if you need to justify an evaluation with your company. I have seen unbelievable things come out of implementing returns. I've automated returns process, I should say. The 50% it's very high, but it's not uncommon. I've been able to see people who have taken their analytics from the back end of what they're finding out in a system like ours and identify maybe what's really happening is your customers are finding it difficult to identify the perfect fit for them in your clothes. So instead of having those resources in customer success in the back end, they're moving them to the front end and doing things like having them facilitate fit expert technology or just a chatbot to be fit experts at the front end, getting ahead of those return transactions. If you're looking at the data and you're analyzing where you can get ahead of these things, that's the goal for us. Create a beautiful experience that's branded for you from tracking to returns and warranties and beyond that for your customers. Guys, thank you so much for having us today. We talked a lot. You were great. I really appreciate having you. Rui's going to be at our booth with us at booth 803. Now, he's not only obviously a wealth of knowledge, but a really great human. And I hope you guys come by, see us with our team. We will be there with our partnerships person as well. So thank you for sticking around.
All right. Thanks, guys.